Trillion Dollar Man vlog 5 or 5 or something. I think it's 5. I actually recorded a vlog on Saturday when I was working another event, because obviously when I'm working I like to show that not only am I sticking to my plan, but that, you know, if you're checking this video out in vlog number 300, 400 something, you can go back to vlog 4 and see, okay, shit, he was actually grinding and this is what it looked like. And then now at vlog 300 something, he's doing X, Y, and Z, and it started here. So in the vlog, I was with a doctor or a soon-to-be doctor. He was doing his medical school residency thing, whatever, and talking to him about what they don't teach them in school. So these guys get out of school and they could make they're going to make 6 figures right away, like 200 grand as a doctor, depending on the contract they sign. And he said that they do like a semester on finance, and the semester on finance is basically how to sign contracts or negotiate contracts with whomever they're working with. They don't do a lot of time on, hey, you're getting out of this thing with $500,000 in debt, which is what he said. He's at like $500,000 already. You're getting out of this thing with $500,000 in debt. Here's how you deal with the debt. What the doctor said to me was, one of his professors or somebody, a mentor professor told him, treat it like a mortgage. Treat it like just a regular home loan. Which is crazy, because they also expect these people to graduate, begin their practice, and then get a house, American dream. So they're gonna have 2 mortgages to pay at whatever interest rate, plus they're gonna have their own regular expenses, and plus they're gonna have credit cards, plus they're gonna buy a new car, right? You'll see a doctor go out and get a Tesla or something right away. No real financial education they're giving to these people. They're just sending them into the world with $500,000 to $1 million in debt and a quick 6-figure income, right? 200 plus thousand. I say that all to say that it's a thing that I've put more emphasis on, more understanding of, and more importance on understanding that your income is not yours. Your money is not yours until you've paid your debts, or you have some way of leveraging the debts in a responsible way. Meaning, if you have a mortgage on your home or a car note or something like that, and you have your debts, but let's say you're making 2 to 3 times your expenses just with your income, with no outstanding debt, but somehow you're able to leverage that debt to build your assets, build your equity. So your house, right? You have a big house. You're using your income to pay down your house to gain equity. Yes, it's a debt, but that money that you're making from your job, your W-2 or whatever, is yours, because that money is going back to you in the form of building equity, right? The car actually serves a purpose, right? The car is bringing you to the place that's helping you buy or pay down on your asset. Now, in the case of, let's say you're renting and you're making just enough money to pay the rent, pay the car, and go out on a Friday night and eat, your money's not actually yours if you're accounting for the amount of debt that you actually have, right? The debt is leveraged negatively. And every time we do these little vlogs, we talk about debt because it's so important, right? They found a way to take the physical chains and make them mental. They found a way to convince us to put the shackles on ourselves, which is crazy. That's a bar, right? They found a way for us to put the shackles on ourselves, right? To get a credit card in the mail and to open it and max it out. Hey, you can get a new car with 0 financing. Lease this car now. The loan money down, no money down. Like, they found a way for us to put the shackles on ourselves. They don't have to physically do it anymore. And that's where the reason that I am where I am, which is probably close to 80 to 90% of Americans right now, if they were to admit it, where it's I'm negatively leveraging debt, is because we got sold something, but at the same time, we've been convinced to think it's not a big deal. Go to college, take out the loan. When you get the job, you'll pay it off later. Okay, I got the loan, got the job. Oh, but buy the car. You gotta have a car. Gotta have a nice car. But when you get a nice place to live. Oh, but don't you should probably get Netflix, because what are you gonna watch? Damn, you can get the Netflix, Hulu, Disney bundle. Damn, Chick-fil-A got a new sandwich. Oh, we sell this at the store. Don't worry about doing it at home, making it at home. Oh shit, and all that, I forgot. You need childcare. You gotta put your kids in. I maxed out a credit card, being on the back end of leverage again. I maxed out a credit card, being on the back end of leverage. Now, it wasn't the only thing I was spending money on, but I would charge the card for the daycare and then pay it off retrospectively. But what happens is, you charge the card, you know the money's coming in, you charge the card, but then something else happens. You pop a tire, you gotta get your car fixed, something happens in the house. Something else happens where you had the money ready to pay the card off after you used it, but some life happens. And that's another thing that happens when you're negatively leveraged with debt, is life happens. And what Mike Tyson say, everyone has a plan until they get punched in the mouth. You have this plan put on paper, but because you're negatively leveraged, you don't have enough buffer money to handle those things. So we're at 7 minutes now, so we're not gonna keep going. But I thought that was interesting that talking to the doctor, and I want to share that conversation, that it's interesting. And I told him I have a sneaky suspicion that these the people who benefit from inflation, people who benefit from money circulating in the economy irresponsibly, fund colleges, we already know that, but particularly focus on funding medical schools. Why? And this is, I'm gonna go real quick on this, right? If you fund a medical school and you don't teach doctors how to handle their money, first, you get someone out in the economy making $200,000 a year who doesn't know how to spend it. And I'm not talking about everybody. I'm just thinking generally. If I took the general population and their understanding of financial literacy and responsibility, if I took the aggressive marketing towards spending and consuming instead of producing, and then if I take the fact that a the personality type of a doctor is what, type A, something like that, right? Which are very strict, coded, good memories, good intellect, very good at sticking to a discipline, a principle, actions, practice, right? A way of doing things. You take those people and you psyop them into this, but then you neglect to teach them this way of thinking. They will walk in accordance with this forever until an object in motion stays in motion until acted on by another object, right? Or another force, and that's Newton's law. They'll keep going like this until acted on by another object, right? So my mom's a nurse. It took a long time for my mom to realize, whoa, and then there's no fault of hers, but when you're in the medical practice, or you're in the law practice, or you're in this practice, or whatever, you're taught to do this, you follow this, and they spend little time, if at all, teaching you how to be a producer and not a consumer, and they market consumerism And then they take these doctors, and we will circle back. I feel like Trump is going to come off topic, back on topic. You take these doctors, you give them 200 grand a year. You trap them inside this residency clinical paradigm of 12 plus hours a year on crap money. And it's really hard for them to survive financially if they don't have anything on the back, like anything outside of them, like family or something. It's really hard for them to survive financially. And they're working crazy hours. And you're packing their brain. And the minute they graduate, they go from making X amount of money. I don't want to, I have had to guess, maybe I'd have to guess like 60,000, maybe 70,000, something like that. I don't know if I had to guess. During that time. It's not a lot. Like, for the amount of hours they're working, like comparatively, it might be a lot to some people, but for them, it's not a lot. You take that person and then you go for, you immediately triple or quadruple how much money they make. What do you think they're going to do when they have gotten no financial information and they immediately get money after spending 8 years or 7 years or whatever of their learning not having money? When they get that money, what do you think they're going to do? If I had to guess, I'm not a doctor, if I had to guess. So, if you can create a system where you have people who are, based on the environment you put them in, they're inclined to operate in a way that's not necessarily physically, mentally, or financially healthy. And then you have the population, the general population, go to these people to seek advice. What do you think happens? These people who are not, maybe they're not in the best physical shape because they spent the last 8 years not working out because they're spending 12 hours a day learning this medical practice, which is good, by the way. It's good they're learning this stuff. But when someone comes to them, they're going to give them a drug instead of telling them to exercise. Because what? They don't exercise themselves, maybe. Or they'll give them a drug instead of telling them to just eat nutritiously, which is, I don't know how much work. I don't think, the doctor told me they did 1 semester. And I did 1 semester of nutrition for my practice. If you don't teach them nutrition, now they're not passing on nutrition information, like actual practical advice, not just like, oh, eat healthier. Like, no, like, this is what you can do based on your A1C or whatever the blood glucose is too high. This is what you can do. Your blood pressure is too high. This is what you can do in the kitchen, like concrete, as opposed to just watch what you eat. Generic. Or this is what you can do in the gym. Cardio, this much cardio, consume this much protein, do this kind of strength training program. Imagine your doctor gave you that. So, and this is not like a, I'm not gonna get a lot of views in this video anyway because no edits and stuff, but so I'm not really worried about YouTube doing anything because I'm talking. But what I'm just riffing on the idea that the system benefits from having these people raised to the highest, raised to almost a point of nobility, because everyone looks to a doctor as the smartest person in the room. And the smartest person in the room, you've curated their experience so that they're fiscally irresponsible in some cases. Fiscally irresponsible. So if the smartest person in the room is fiscally irresponsible, may not work out maybe as much as they need to, and because of what they went through for 7 years in medical school or 8 years in medical school, and they also maybe not doing the best with their nutrition, again, speaking generally here, and the entire population looks to doctors as the highest, then why should they do it? So we go back to money, because that's what we were talking about. We just got off of that stuff because there's some other stuff to think about. I'm very interested in making the goal. The goal right now is to 10K a month. The goal right now is 10K a month. I'm putting together a plan to augment my current income to get to that 10K. I'll have to go. 10K a month is the goal, but I'm cognizant of, it doesn't matter how much money you make. If you're negatively leveraged and you have bad financial practices, that money is not really yours, right? So I have to find a way to earn that money in a sensible way and to create a financial spending plan that allows that money to belong to me in the best way possible, while also aggressively attacking debt so I can be if I can be positively leveraged by 2025, I'm good to go. A millionaire by 33, 35. Right? So I'm 30 right now. So a millionaire by 33, 35 responsibly. If I get lucky, maybe sooner. But if I just follow the plan, millionaire 33, 35, if I can be positively leveraged by 2025. Okay. See you next time.